I know you're gonna dig this.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2016, May. We have some more funk royalty, y'all.
That's right. Thank you.
The S.O.S. Band.
Yes, that's right.
Right, that's it.
That's how they bring us on.
Is that how they bring you on? Maybe I can get a job.
Yeah, you good.
Can I get a job?
You're good.
So we'll start with the ladies first.
All right.
Would you please tell us who you are and what you are in the music industry?
My name is Mary Davis, and I am the lead singer for the SOS Band.
Sir,
Yes, sir. I'm Abdul Ra'oof, and I'm one of the original members, trumpet player and vocalist for the SOS Band. Percussion from time to time.
from time to time, so whatever they need you to
Well,
do,
it's
you
been a long time. My hands are too soft.
do. So now tell me, how did the name SOS come into fruition? Where'd you guys get that name from?
Well, the band started in 80, 79, 77. Well, we stayed in the regroup
Yes,
for like 3 years before, and the name at that time was Santa Monica Band. And Bunny Ransom, who was our manager at that time, she told us to go in the studio and to send a tape to Clarence A. Band, who was the president of Taboo Records. And we went in the studio, did the tape at that time, and sent it to Clarence. And he liked what was on the tape, what we were doing. So he decided to send Sagidi Abdul down to Atlanta to record Take Your Time. And when after we did Take Your Time, then they said that Santa Monica name was too long for people to remember, so they told us to come up with a shorter name. And we all drew names in the hat. And Sagidi brought to us SOS Band, because it stands for so many things. But the main thing is sounds of success. Some people say satisfaction on stage, some people say sounds of the South, but the main thing is sounds of success.
It's West Coast thing.
Where Santa Monica, you would need to be from the West Coast. But we was from Atlanta, Georgia, so there ain't too much water around there, but Lake Lanier or something like that. But I guess it didn't really fit the area anyway, Santa Monica. Jason had been to California, so
Right, Jason.
so that had some influence on him.
Well, tell me, how did you guys hear about the Funk Center, or the Funk Music Hall of Fame and Exhibition Center, that we affectionately call, to shorten the name,
Okay.
the Funk Center? How did you guys hear about the Funk Center?
Through some other entertainers, as well as Janetta, and she used to be associated with the Gap Band, and we
First
go way
Lady
back.
Zap. First Lady Zap.
No, I'm sorry, Zap
That's
Band.
okay. That's
Zap
okay.
Band.
Yeah.
Zap, we all in one family. Zap Band,
family.
SOS Band, Zap. We
All-
we've
it's
been
all
back
one.
there.
It's all one
Yeah,
to us.
Yeah, that's right. So,
Especially us
but it's
listeners.
Zap, and knowing her from that time, she gave us the rundown on what was happening, what they had planned on doing. We thought it was an excellent idea because it's really needed. So we just wanted to be a part of it. Anything we can do to get the information out, share information, and maybe get some information out. So.
And we're very appreciative, when we started this, the funk sound, from a Daytonian standpoint, like you said, you guys came around 77, we were listening to the funk from the Ohio Players in the early 70s. So we started we got all the groups from Dayton, Ohio together. First Lady of Zap and her, Zap, one of the bands including the Ohio players, and then we said, oh, this is too many other bands. So how can we get in touch with the other funk pioneers? You guys' band was one of them.
Oh, okay.
Oh, come on now, you know.
Okay, well, yeah, so we had a great place to start from, because the 70s,
Yes,
Dayton,
sir.
everything was coming out of Dayton.
So you heard about the funk sound coming out of Dayton,
Of course,
huh?
well, I come up listening to those things, man, I'm a horn guy.
Yes, sir.
Ohio
Right,
players,
right. Pee-wee in the movies.
Roger used to be with Roger and Human Body, so
Yes,
we
sir.
came from that to go to Zap and
So you know a little bit about Dayton funk.
Sun and
Platypus,
yeah.
Phase
So,
Zone.
yeah,
We go on and on.
Yeah, so it was,
They've been out there on the road with you guys
Yes,
on a
we
couple of
traveled.
buildings. I
We've
know.
traveled together many times.
yeah.
Now tell me, so we're trying to build a funk museum, and I see you guys are into social media. That's the big thing today. If you don't have money for marketing, the best way to get yourself out there is social media, YouTube, Facebook. Can we sort of call on you guys to help us promote the Funk Center through your
Oh,
e-media?
definitely.
I think you've been doing something like that already.
Yeah, I try.
Yeah, I see you.
I'm
every
trying to
now and
coach
again.
in the game a little bit.
Yeah, I
it's
see you.
you have to be involved, because that's where it is. It's like it's a way for the World Wide Web.
Yes,
where
sir.
that's open the whole doors up for you. So you can kind of control your own self and find your fan base. That's what we've been able to do, to find our fan
Yes, sir.
base and to be able to address our fan base. And we want to be able to do that as well with you guys. So it will be a problem. It's all.
Well, with folks like me, your fan base goes all the way down to zero. My children listen to S.O.S. Band.
Is that right?
Oh, for sure.
Is that
Oh,
right?
for
That's
sure.
why they sound like my wife.
Is that your wife? Oh, you got to check in?
This is the guitar player. I'm not
That's the
calling
guitar
it now.
player.
I'm cutting him off.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be here,
Yeah,
right?
cut him off.
No, we have the two main people that we've been trying to get in. On
We're doing an
on
interview and I can't
on
talk.
the one anyway. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're gonna skip around a little bit
I'm
because
cutting this
as
off.
we go,
Yeah.
since I don't have my questions, it's the free form. Now tell me, we'll start with you this time. Give me one of your fondest memories of your funk experience, your personal funk experience.
I have many.
Keep it clean. I know you do. Oh, I know you
But
got
I'm
it.
telling
Oh, I
you,
know
the
you
first,
got it. We just
the first,
did.
I'm gonna do this because it was such an influence on me. I've been influenced by quite a few artists and musicians, so I'm kind of diverse in that because I like
Yes,
music.
I know.
But what happened is James Brown. I remember, I was born in Albany, Georgia, and I was in a local band there. We went to school, went to high school together, went to college together, and James Brown was playing the Atlanta's Fulton County Stadium. James Brown was
He's
one of the
no
few
longer
people. Yeah, but see, he's one of the few people that can pack the stadium during
Yes,
that
sir.
time. So we
Yes, sir.
traveled from Albany to the James Brown show. And that was one of the most exciting experiences I've ever seen in my life, to see James Brown. That was the first huge concert, major concert I ever seen. And he had his whole entourage there, and
Wow.
dancers, and he was like, it was just incredible. So being a group that we was like a horn band, 10-piece horn band, 5 horns. I don't think there was a James Brown song that we never played. Yeah. As a matter of fact, my mother used to tell us, son, she called me son. She said, son, you guys are good, but you do too much James Brown. We played every James Brown.
I know you did.
So that's one of my most fun memories when I was younger, to experience James Brown live.
This is easily the third time we've heard that a James Brown influenced, a funk musician. Miss Mary,
Yes.
what was your funk experience?
Well, it started, I came from a background of gospel.
As if we didn't know.
I wouldn't call it funk, but my most memorable funk experience when we played Madison Square Garden. And we had the Isley Brothers, Stephanie Mills, who else was on that show?
Man, I was so blown out that show. I don't even know nobody on the show. That was the first concert I ever made too. Yeah,
That
it
was
with
the
Isaac
most,
Brothers.
I mean, it was such
We
a,
opened.
yes, we opened for
Yeah.
that particular show. And that show was, I mean, it was nothing but the funk. And
It was on
people,
fire.
the whole place
Yes.
shook.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it just feel like the whole structure, you could feel it.
Been there,
Pretty
yes.
much, yeah.
Yeah.
That was my moment.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it
That
was.
sounds
To me, it
really
was.
amazing. So again, you know, we're building the funk center, and I wish we had asked you to bring your horn in, but we'll, since this will be round one, next time we're gonna come to where you are,
Okay.
because you know we like to travel,
Okay.
and as long as you're within 5,000 miles,
Oh,
we're good.
okay.
Well, okay, 1,000 miles.
Okay. See that?
I'm sorry, make that 500 miles. We'll be there.
We'll make it.
'Cause,
We'll
you know,
make it happen.
we were there 2 years ago when you guys were, you know, at the Montgomery County Fairgrounds in Dayton, Ohio.
Mhm.
Okay.
And then, like you said, Janetta finally got in touch with you, so there was our other inroad
Mhm.
back to the SOS band. Again, you're one of this organization's favorite bands. When we think of funk, I promise you, your songs are in our rotation.
Awesome. Thank you for that. We're humbled by
Yeah,
it.
and David has a band, and half of his rotation is your stuff. So,
Is that right?
That's
oh yeah,
great.
we play almost every song, almost all of your songs.
Keep it
We were
going.
looking forward to hearing Weekend Girl, but we won't talk about that.
Yeah, please
We
don't.
won't talk about that for right now.
Okay.
So like we're saying, you've got your social media that you're going to help us with. You've given us your funk experiences. Now what we also like to know is your opinion, because you know we're putting these videos together for a reason. And the reason that these questions are structured that way is so that we can run some analytical data on funk. You know, because one of the other components that we have is we want to bring music instruction back to the schools.
Oh, that's
So we need a definition of funk music. So, in your opinion, what is the definition of funk music?
Hmm.
Wow. That's
Well,
something.
it has to be something that really touches your soul and your spirit. You know, funk. You know, a good funk line to make your expression on your face look. It just happens. A band. You know, so it's really a thing between good R&B and basically when the sounds start changing a little bit. You know, so. But we go back again. James Brown been funky all the time.
On the one.
He's been the one. So when you hear his stuff now, that he recorded with his first two bands, even with the one that was with Bootsy Collins that was
Right.
that replaced Maceo.
Another Ohio.
That stuff is still tight.
Another Ohio connection.
Mhm. Yeah, that's her this time. It was not me. It's the finest.
Let's see.
Yeah, so this is just something you
we,
feel though.
we were singing that on the way down to the show. We were trying to see what songs we wanted to see you guys sing, and Janetta said, "Oh, finest," and we all started singing it in the truck. Then you guys did it. All was amazing.
Yeah.
But not that we can sing. I mean, she can.
Oh.
The rest of us can. We were just trying to carry along. It's so funny you say that. Another great tune.
Well, you know, almost all those groups you call funk groups, they was kind of influenced by Brown anyway.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah, you look at
He's the godfather.
Yeah.
Not just a soul.
Yeah.
Yes.
George Clinton, Bootsy Collins, all those
Yeah.
funk bands, you know, and especially the horn bands. We was talking about that the other night. A friend, the saxophone player. We came up in a time that horn bands and horn arrangements are different today than it was back when we was coming up because of instrumentation.
Yeah, almost
the
non-existent. Yeah,
because
of
the technology.
Yeah.
You have
Technology.
something to take place of it. In other words, something to make that change, to give you that difference where horn was. Because you have the virtual sounds now that can do so many things, and just some of them just effects that wind up just being a vibe. It can be just a weird
Right.
sound, just wind up being just a
Right.
vibe in there. So songs are written differently than it was during the day when the horn bands and even arrangements were different.
Have to be.
Yeah.
Because without a breath controller, you can't spit a horn. You
Yeah.
can't spit a trumpet.
Yeah.
No matter how hard you try, playing with your hand,
Yeah.
trying to get what you do naturally through your lips.
No, they haven't come up with it yet.
It's not going to come up with
No,
it.
they can't
It's
come
not going to
up
happen.
with
That's
it. Yeah.
why
Yeah.
it's so important, you know, from our aspect, that we continue to train and teach our children
Yes.
to play an instrument. You know, they need an outlet.
Yes.
Oh, speaking of which, did you have music lessons when you were in school? How did you learn how to play the trumpet?
I started being in a band. I come out of band. I come out of an environment that allowed me to develop and see if it was something that I wanted to involve myself in for a long term. But being in, they call it middle school, it was junior high school, and that's how old I am. But it was junior high school, I went to college, and I was always in band. And music had a great deal, and I think it saved me from being in a whole lot of different things, because I always had structure.
Every last one of us,
Always had
within
structure.
10 feet of you, is exactly what it gave us.
Always had
structure.
Even the guys, even someone who didn't continue to go as far as Mary and I did, it still gave you an outlet and gave you how to learn different things,
Yes, sir.
and gave you structure so you wouldn't have to idle time.
Yes, sir.
And through that process, you learn how to be with other people, how to network and work together.
Learn math.
Increase your science
just
mathematics.
skills.
Yeah, it's mathematics.
Increase your reading skills.
Yeah.
Learning how to play an instrument does more than just that.
Yeah.
And even with voice. I mean, the voice is, as we all know, the first instrument.
Yeah.
It is.
Not drums,
Right.
voice.
Right.
So your background is church.
Oh,
It's
yes.
as if we didn't know it. We can hear it through your singing,
Oh,
Mary.
that's where I came from. Back when I was knee-high to a duck, I used to listen to
You know you from the South. Only someone from the South would say that. Knee-high
Yes,
to a duck.
knee-high to a duck.
Yes, ma'am.
I used to sit on my mother's back porch, and at that time, we didn't have any black radio stations, so they played like country and western music. So I would sit and listen, and we finally got a gospel radio station in Savannah. And funk to me is when you are able to just groove, just sitting down. It will make you groove. It will make you move your head. It will make you move your feet or your hand and show your whole body. And that was just something that, plus the fact that we had groups that were in Savannah that was played a nightclub scene. And I used to hitchhike from where I lived into the inner city, because I lived more so in the country. So my cousin and I, he was my road partner, we would go and hitchhike in the city, and the band would be playing at the nightclub. And I was told to be in the house at a certain time. So, but the band didn't start playing until 11 or 12 o'clock at night. So when I got home, my dad would be sitting up waiting for me to go home. And he would really just, go off.
Being a girl too?
No, thank you. This is what I'm saying. But like I told him, my brother, he was just like a brother to me. He was my cousin. And he said, well, we had to be in a certain time, and I didn't do it. So, but that's when I really started noticing funk music, and I got a chance to sing with the band that was in Savannah.
That's so cool. And, something, it encouraged me. We were talking again on the way up. We were, thinking of, our structure, or, the S.O.S. band itself. And David just whispered in my ear. I said it on camera, but he whispered in my ear as it reminded me, is there some kind of Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis kind of influence going on in you guys' music? And if so, why?
Well, Jim Jam and Terry Lewis was, we were introduced to them on our third album. And Clarence Avon brought them to us. And they, in turn, studied what Sagiti did in our music would take your time. And they went to another level with that, And that's when they were, and we just clicked, because they allowed us to be ourselves and music, because the band had different background in music. We had gospel flavor, we had rock flavor, we had jazz flavor, and all that coming together, created the sound that we have.
And let me ask you this now: was they brought you to Taboo Records, or was y'all already with Taboo Records?
But Take the Time was out, and it's the third album.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we were already signed to Taboo label.
What happened, I think, also, Beth Mary, is we was introduced to them on our third album through a song, because they was writers. They was retiring it. But they was doing the song, they was writing, they was sitting at the songs from different artists at that time. and we got a song from Leon Silvers, who was producing the third album, and they brought this song to us, and it was High Hopes. So we chose the song, and everybody wanted to sing it, but it was a song that Jam and Lewis had written for the band, and we chose that song. So the next time we got ready to go into session, there was our producers. Clarence sent them to the session. But see, they had been writing all the time. Terry, Jam used to be a DJ, but they was recording when they were very young, what I understand, they explained to us. And they was being a musician as well. So that drive into them was something they wanted to do because they wasn't recording themselves, they were producing, but they had the ability to produce. So that outlet that the SOS Band gave them, along with what they gave us, what they brought to us as well, it just was a great match. They was hungry, we were looking for something new, and it was just a very cool thing.
Without a bass and drums, there's no funk.
Exactly.
I mean, that's the bottom. That's where funk comes from, and everybody else like this silver can play on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know if funk is. I don't know.
Which you never did give me my definition, but I was gonna let it go.
I don't know where it. I can say only there's something somebody came up with, or somebody said something funky that's real funky, or just a word that caught on, because basically it's all R&B.
Well,
it's all R&B, but you call it. I don't know how that happened.
Well, it happened because
James Rogers, they make it funky. It was a slang. It was a slang.
And then Daytonians turned it into an art form.
Yeah, it was just a slang, basically. I think that's how I don't know.
It was.
Yeah.
The
that's funky.
That's funky.
Make it funky.
It's like Mary said. I mean, funk is one of the only musics that can make your whole body move from your toe to your earlobe.
Yeah.
And it just goes right through you.
Let me ask you this question. I remember back in the day, they were Jam and Lewis was producing your record, and they missed the plane in Atlanta, and Prince fired them.
Yes.
And we was like, wow. And the rest is history because the music they produced for y'all, and y'all are an excellent band. And you just took it from that point and just took it. And like I said, your voice, Mary, is so dynamic. It gives you, like you said, I know, keep me in love. It just gave me goosebumps. And I was like 17, 18 years old.
You gave me goosebumps just saying it.
Yeah. Oh, did I? But see, and then I listened today at the concert in Columbus, Ohio. Your horn, I listened to your horn syncopation, what you was playing. You was on one side, he's on the other, and y'all was hitting the licks right then and there. I know y'all was having problems listening to the monitors, but y'all was on point.
Well, see, that guy, he was one of the guys that we added to the group when we reformed the band.
Right.
And we have, when I met him, his name's Sultan Muhammad. I met him in college. So we've been playing together so long, we just know each other. We know each other, and we were just talking when you spend a lot of time. It's like a great team, you just know what that person's getting ready to do. Whether you're playing basketball or football, you know the moves, you know the look. So with that whole thing, we've been doing it so well together. We just know what to listen for.
We winding down. We can do this all night, but there's going to be a round two. It's going to be a round two. I promise you, we're going to come wherever you are, because I've seen you now 5 times, 2 times with this organization. But anytime that you guys were playing, I promise you, I was out there and I was one of those people with the lighters or what have you. But in closing, again, I just want to thank you for coming on to the Funk Chronicles on the One, which by the way is an award-winning show. We won an award for our show. So what would you like to leave us with? And we're going to end it with Ra'oof. So Mary, what would you like to leave us with, please?
Well, I would just like to say I thank you all for having us participate in this event, and you definitely have my blessing. And you must remember to ask and pray and ask God to just lead and guide you to the next level, and then we will go from there. And to all the kids that are there that's listening to this, I would just like to say, if you can, please learn how to play an instrument. because that's very important. When we came about with Take Your Time, our sound, everybody played their instrument. We didn't have, we had synthesizers, but it was like everybody went to school, they learned how to play instruments and what have you. And that's very important. I notice now that they don't have it as much as they used to have it in school. And for some reason, but then again, we as adults, we as people have to teach our young kids, how to play instruments, because we were taught. So we need to pass that on.
We're falling further and further behind the world in terms of reading,
Yes.
writing, and arithmetic. We've gone from 1 to 22 on the world scale. Why? Because we feel that it's because they took music instruction out of school.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because now we, like you're saying, you no longer have the ability to learn how to deductively reason on yourself.
Right.
And by the time you get to college, when we learned how to, the term deductively reason, we didn't know we were doing it through playing an instrument.
Yes. Music is a universal language.
Yes, ma'am, universal language.
Yes.
It doesn't, you don't have, those who will learn it in that language.
Exactly. Teach your kids, teach your
Yes,
grandkids,
ma'am.
teach them.
That's
That's
one
it.
of our mission
That's the
statements
key.
there. Our mission statement says, so that our
Oh,
children
yeah.
can be educated on the history of funk music,
That's
but
it.
further on how to play an instrument.
Yes.
I don't want you to be a musician, I want you to be a doctor,
Right.
or a lawyer, or a
Right,
chemist,
right,
or a
right.
mathematician,
Right.
but learn how to play an instrument.
Right.
Yes.
So Ra'oof, what would you like to leave us with, please?
To add on to that is just structure. We try to have to find structure in our life and have to find, to be able to have time management. And that's something that you either get, someone teaches you that or give you that information. So you can do a little bit of everything, but it's how you manage your time when you come, because at some point, speaking on the kids, that time is going to leave you and just other things are going to come in and take that time, other responsibilities. So all the free time that you're going to have is not going to always be there. So, but you should be like a sponge. Learn everything you can about something, everything. Even if they give you a job that you don't want, learn that and take it back.
Be the best.
Do the best you can and everything you can do.
Whatever it is.
Whatever, it don't make a difference.
Amen.
You see, you're getting more information. There's more information, you have more knowledge, and then things like that you don't fear. It's just information. You have your confidence level. So we're working towards things. It's been about 37, 38 years for us, but we still fight. We're working on new stuff. It's a good time. It comes around, because everybody now. Hell, they're 90s, they're 50, and
Yeah,
everybody's old now. So
older.
we play with everybody now. So it's a great time for us. We're working with some. We did something about a year ago. Speaking of Jam and Lewis, they got this project there. I don't know when it's going to be released, but we're part of this project.
We got new S.O.S. music coming out.
Well, and we're working on some stuff as well.
I know you are.
Yeah,
Oh, so we need to get into that.
We already did some stuff with Jam and Lewis for their project for artists that they produce.
Right.
And
They're
like
coming.
Janet and all the artists, we all on one album. We already did the single, maybe about a couple of years. I think they're going to work before on it now because Janet just came out. We talked to Terry maybe about a month ago. So just being patient. Patience is the whole thing.
We're real patient.
Patience.
We're building a museum.
But we have to learn.
know
We have to
about
learn that
patience.
too.
Yeah, we're building a museum. Believe me,
We
if
have
you
to-
didn't know
you have to have it.
patience, you gotta have it.
You got to have
You
patience.
gotta have patience.
You got to have
Because
patience,
nothing happens
persistence. You got to
Nothing
be
happens
consistent and persistent with it, but patience and
Yes,
let
sir.
God bring it to
It's
you.
a virtue.
If you believe in it, just work, do what you
You gotta
do.
believe it.
He's going to make a way for you.
when you can't see it.
We don't know how, but it's going to be
It's
all
gonna
right.
happen.
It's going to be fine.
May not come when you want it, but it's always
It's gonna be
It's
all
on
right.
time. It's on his time.
It's going to be
on time,
fine.
God.
Thank you. Again, ladies and gentlemen, Funk Royalty in the house. The SOS
We're humble.
Band.
Thank you.
No, we're the ones that are humble. We're not worthy. We're not
Yeah,
worthy.
you're
Thank
more
you,
than
thank you, thank you.
And
We
for
love you
having
so
doing
much.
this, for seeing
Love you
the
so
vision,
much. Yes.
for you guys having the vision
Yes.
to do this. When you got
want?
all those groups, especially that come from Dayton, all those groups,
Yes.
there was great what they call self-contained in, as the mayor was
Right.
saying.
Right.
Self-contained mean everything was in the group that you needed.
Yes, sir.
You didn't have to hire anything outside. So that's
No.
self-contained. You got some coming back, jammed and took a chance with Mint, and they're great
Additional.
guys.
Yes.
But they're like one of the few groups that came out of that as a band itself. That came out of the 90s, and even radio didn't know what to do with them, but they got their own following. Great cats. But we thank you guys for doing this.
Thank
We want to be able to assist you whatever we can do.
Oh, we'll be reaching back out to you. Now we have Mary in the house. We had you in the house. Finally, thank you.
It's your T-shirts. You get your feet. Show them your T-shirts.
Take your time and do it right.
This anniversary, what, 30 years? This is our 30 years anniversary, yeah.
Take your time and do it
I think
right.
it was in what? It was in London or something? Europe? This company Europe? Yeah, it was there with you. But we are humble.
Thank
We don't take it for
We
granted
know.
that we're here. We love what we do.
What's
You're
the name
still
of the
here.
new single?
Huh?
Just Get Ready.
Just get ready. That's one of the singles. We're working on some other stuff now.
I like
With the same producer, one of the guys who's a dear friend out of the band.
Yeah.
We got SOS Band is unbelievable.
Yes,
For the
we will.
camp that the musicians that come out of this band.
Yes.
They're doing
Okay,
great
great.
things, great musicians. And one guy is doing Charlie's stuff now. He's a family member, did just where you like it. So talking to Terry and also our patience is,
We ain't going
God's way,
nowhere.
we're good.
I tell all these guys know I'm gonna be here till I'm 100, so I got 42 more years.
Do your thing. Do your thing. Do your thing. Good. Hey.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Yes.
That was,
Yeah.